that are kind of old. One's a pastor, the other's not. They like to chat, cook, and pray a lot. Oh, chat, cook, and pray. Oh, chat, cook, and pray. Oh, chat, cook, and pray. Oh, chat, cook, pray. There's lots of laughter and lots of fun. Tuesdays on Facebook Live at 1. You'll never know what will happen when Lucy and Ethel are at it again. Oh, chat, cook, and pray. Oh, chat, cook, and pray. Oh, chat, cook, and pray. Oh, chat, cook, pray. Chat, cook, and pray. Oh, chat, cook, and pray. Oh, chat, cook, and pray. Oh, chat, cook, pray. Amen. Hey, we're here and we've almost made it on time.
Oh,
I don't feel so discombobulated today. Do you?
You look it.
Oh, well. But I said I don't feel it.
Oh, okay.
I don't feel discombobulated.
I thought after those 2 Zoom meetings you had today that you'd be crazy.
No, this feels good. So anyway, we've got this exciting recipe, and Marty's going to tell you all about her new Tajine cooker,
Yes.
and she'll go into all that. And so I'm going to scoot around so I can say hi to everybody, and then she's going to start in with this wonderful, delicious dish.
All right. This is my new Tajine and my new induction cooktop because the hot plate didn't cook fast enough. Anyway, the Tajine I have is cast iron, and it is red, as you can see, and it's just beautiful, and the base of it is cast iron also, and it's just really super nice. The reason I have this one is because after I cooked for you all the last time down in the kitchen, I broke the pot, cracked the bottom. So I had to buy something new.
Well, that gave you a good excuse.
It did. I never knew that they made cast iron ones until I saw this. Anyway, we're going to start really fast today. This is a
okay. You got an induction hot plate, and so you might hear some air because it's blowing its own air under there. And Deb McKim is watching us. Hi, Marquita. Love your cooking show.
Oh, thank you. I love doing it. Now I've got to, since this is new, I have to read the directions. Okay, I need a 5, so that should be good. Temperature, 300 degrees, should be good. And
you guys are on the ground floor of this. She's trying a new hot plate.
Yeah, I practiced at home with it and I loved it.
Okay.
I have an induction cooktop there too. Okay, half a cup of olive oil in the bottom of the pan. Oops, set that over there. And then I'm going to put the chicken in. And I'm just using chicken thighs today.
Okay.
I thought that's what Pastor Karen would like to take home.
You know, whatever you give me, I like to take home.
And then I put that in. Could you throw that in the trash,
Yes,
please?
I can.
Thank you. I'm just going to layer this chicken in there, in the bottom. And then it's already starting to
I
cook.
can hear it.
Let's see. I think I did the skin side down. I'm trying to remember what I did when I fixed this last. There you go. Thank you. All right. Now I'm going to, on top of this, let's see, get my directions, make sure I remember everything. In the middle and the spices on top. And I have put the spices together in a jar with a shaker top because it makes it a lot easier than the way I did it the first time. And in this I have black pepper, turmeric, and ginger. And I'm going to just sprinkle this over the chicken until it's empty. Wow. lot of spices. Woo.
Okay, everybody who likes Marty's new cooking digs with the new burner and her Tajine, send a heart up so she knows that you love it.
Oh,
And
right.
Randy loved it.
Oh, yeah. He's learned to love anything that I fix. Okay, now I'm going to, on top of the chicken, I'm going to add the onion, which I've already sliced up. I'm just going to lay it on top.
Lay
of
it
the
on
chicken.
top so beautifully.
Yes. It's really a pretty dish.
Wow, I can already smell it.
Yeah. Well, it's better than the smell of that popcorn.
There's
you made
Randy. I'm going to
earlier.
wave to Randy. Yeah.
Yeah, your
I
popcorn.
I found some popcorn in here. Sometimes I start scavenging around for stuff, you know, as I'm waiting to eat a wonderful lunch. And I found some popcorn, and I popped it, and ugh. And then Marty said, "Did you know how old that popcorn was?" That was, what did you say, 2016?
2016.
Yeah, it was not good. Hi, Sonia.
Oh, Sonia's there. They were camping this past weekend.
Is that right?
Yeah, I saw them pictures on her Facebook page in their new trailer.
Oh, that's right.
Well, actually, it's a Class C RV.
Okay.
Very nice.
So, Sonia, send up something if you loved camping in your new RV. Send up a heart or something.
Okay. Now, after I added the tomatoes in, then, and when it starts boiling, and it has started boiling, I'm
Yeah.
going to add the potatoes.
Oh, look at this, the potatoes.
Your favorite thing. And
I love potatoes.
I peeled them already, and I quartered them.
Oh, do you put them like a little wreath around all that stuff?
Yeah, you do.
That's going to be a very pretty dish when you take the lid off.
Yeah, it hopefully will be. It was when I cooked it at home.
Okay, Deb says she missed what the pan is. That's a Tajine. It's Moroccan,
Yes.
and it's Tajine, Tajine. And the one she used earlier was made out of pottery, and she cracked it. So now she bought this one because she doesn't think she can crack cast iron,
hope
but I
can.
question that.
Yeah, I hope I can. Well, I'm not going to plan on dropping it. That's for sure.
Randy said we could throw the popcorn in with the chicken. I would not take that because if it messed something up, I'd be in trouble.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. This is all right. There's the potatoes in, and now we'll put some carrots in.
Now, what we're going to tell you is this is going to cook for a while. It
Yeah.
probably will not be ready for us fresh
But-
off the pot, but she brought some
That I fixed
that
earlier.
she fixed earlier that we're going to get to eat. So, thank goodness I won't go hungry.
Oh no, I wasn't. You made me throw the popcorn away.
I know. It was,
So wasteful.
it was not good. You wouldn't even eat it.
No, I wouldn't eat it.
Yeah.
I tasted one piece of bleh.
Uh-huh. There you go. I tell you, it's a very pretty dish. It's
Yeah.
got the different colors in it
Colors
and
and-
stuff. It's very good.
Yeah, it looks really nice. Then we finish this.
Okay.
The carrots.
I'll take a carrot now.
Here, have a carrot.
Thank you. Yummy. Okay.
And then I'm going to, on top of this, I'm going to put a tablespoon of coriander.
Mm-mm-mm. The spices in these dishes that you make, the Moroccan tagine dishes, are so different.
Yes, nothing I would have ever thought about
Uh-uh.
doing.
Uh-uh.
And the Moroccan dishes, every one of them I tried has been really good.
Well, you are expanding our taste buds.
Yes, that's the idea. And then I have some fresh parsley that I chopped up. Before I do that, I've got the olives.
Ooh, see, now that's what I'm gonna like.
Oh, what that
I
you
love
like about everything.
olives.
I did see some recipes for eggplant, but I know you don't like
No.
eggplant, and I don't don't either, so
Okay, good.
no, I'm not gonna do that to you.
Thank you.
All right. Lots of olives.
Lots of them.
Yeah. I suppose you want an olive too.
Yeah, I'll take one of those.
All right, there's an olive.
Thank
for
you. Love those green olives with those pimentos in them. Yum.
Okay.
Now what's the...
Some parsley, freshly grated up parsley over the top. Isn't that pretty?
It is very pretty.
Oh.
I really do like it.
Yes. You have to buy a lot of parsley. Now I'm looking for dishes to fix with parsley at home because I've got all this parsley. All right. Now what I do is the saffron.
Okay, now this is what you're going to be hearing about today in my background information is about saffron.
Yes.
And you have to use it fairly sparingly because of the strong flavor and because it's so expensive.
This was a present to me from my neighbors. They bought it in Spain.
Oh my
when they were on
goodness.
vacation. And so I used it the other night when I cooked for them.
Yeah, get every one of those little threads. I've
Yes,
learned
yes.
that's what it's called, threads.
Yes, it's threads. And
Threads.
It kinda looks like threads.
Threads of saffron. And what I've also learned is they used to weave the threads of saffron into rugs and clothing because the smell is so strong it keeps you from smelling the bad odors of someone else. It's what I got out of that.
Yes.
So-
yes, they used it for perfume. Well, I'm going to move this dish over a little bit
Okay.
so you can see it better.
Okay, they can watch it
They can
as I
watch it.
read. Now, are you done?
We are done.
Okay,
with
so
this
and when do we put the lid on?
right now.
Oh, so
As
then
soon
they'll
as
just
I
see
put
the.
a little bit of water
Okay,
in.
okay.
I just put water in to bring it. You don't want to put it that far. I put it far enough the other day that it made quite a mess.
I see.
And I don't choose to do that here.
Now, I understand too. I see, those of you that aren't on that normally are, I hope the Tajine cooking didn't
Because
throw
you can-
you, because
could
you
you-
can do this in the oven.
Yeah, you can use a Dutch oven or a heavy pan on top of the stove.
Right. You
Yeah.
don't necessarily need that pretty little,
No, but it makes
Thing.
it fun.
but it does make it fun and it looks pretty too.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Okay.
I'm going to start reading. Marty's going to do her thing.
Well,
And-
I think that we're in good shape.
We're
It's
in
just
good
gonna-
shape.
it's
Just going to
gonna
cook
keep-
now.
It's just going to keep cooking. And
Now, do you have to keep adding water or check on
I
the water?
just check on it every once
Because
in a
it's
while.
supposed to make its own stuff and
Right.
come down
And
the
it
side
could.
of the lid.
Something I needed to do though was put some salt over this. Those
Oh,
potatoes with no
there
salt
you
on
go.
them
There,
made a little
I
boring.
appreciate that.
I knew you would.
Okay, I
Sea
saw the
salt.
salt sitting there, but you weren't
Yeah.
using it. I thought you
Yeah.
were sending me a message.
Well, it was. But,
Okay. Okay, but what does have the salt is the olives.
Yes, but the potatoes and still
Yeah.
need a little bit.
But maybe some of their juice will sink down in there.
All right.
Okay, there's that pretty pan.
And-
Okay. So
Okay.
today we've got this wonderful history. Marty will go out and get history for me, and she gets pages and pages, and I have to edit it down because it's quite
it was
long.
only 8 pages. today.
Yeah. But so you're not going to have to hear all that. But since she's not doing any cooking anymore, I may stand behind the
Yeah.
Tajine pan
Yeah.
and
Absolutely.
read it out there.
I'm going to pick up some of our mess
Okay.
here. So we've got that cleaned up.
Because this is just so cute. Okay, but see what I move? Oh, hello from Egypt.
Ah,
It's, can you read her name?
just a second.
Yeah, you look over there and don't forget to wave. Hassan. Is that right?
Yeah. Hassan.
Okay, so wave to her. Or him, I mean. The wave's down there.
Oh,
You push
waves
the button.
down there. Oh, yes.
Oh, when you have to teach people what to do.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
They have 4 children.
Yeah. And they say it's good to see you. So if you want to come back and just stick your little face
Oh,
in.
yes. Let me wash my hands, though.
Okay, she's going to wash her hands. I'm going to start the history of saffron. Saffron is a key seasoning, fragrance, dye, and medicine in use for over 3,000 years. One of the world's most expensive spices by weight. Saffron consists of stigmas plucked from the vegetative, propagated, and sterile Crocus sativus, known popularly as the saffron crocus. The resulting dried stigmas, also known as threads, and you saw Marty put those little threads in out of her bottle of saffron, are distinguished by their bitter taste, hay-like fragrance, and slight metallic notes. See, when I read those 3 things, I don't understand what the attraction is. But the saffron crocus is unknown in the wild. The saffron crocus is native to Southwest Asia, was first cultivated in what is now Greece. And from ancient to modern times, the history of saffron is full of applications in food, drink, traditional herbal medicine. From Africa and Asia to Europe and the Americas, the bright red threads were and are prized in baking, curries, and liquor. Or it could be liqueur, I don't know. Its colored textiles and other items are often helped, if you had, people could tell if you were wealthy, if you had the dye that was made from saffron. Okay, so it was a very expensive item. Ancient and medieval peoples believed that saffron could be used to treat all kinds of ailments, from stomach upsets to the plague. And saffron crocus cultivation has long centered on a broad belt of Eurasia, bounded by the Mediterranean Sea in the southwest to India and China in the northeast. Almost all saffron grows in a belt bounded by the Mediterranean in the west and mountainous Kashmir in the east. I just like that name, Kashmir. All other continents except Antarctica produce smaller amounts. Kashmir saffron is considered the finest and most expensive of all kinds of saffron. In decreasing order, Iran, Greece, Morocco, India, which is Kashmir Valley, Azerbaijan, I guess, Spain, and Italy dominate the world harvest. Iran is the world's leading producer. Okay? The high cost of saffron is due to the difficulty of manually extracting large numbers of minute stigmas, which are only part of the crocus. An exorbitant number of flowers, now this is very interesting, an exorbitant number of flowers need to be processed in order to yield marketable amounts of saffron. Obtaining 1 pound of dry saffron requires a harvesting of some 50,000 flowers. Oh, Jamie's here. Hi, Jamie. You need to go watch our stuff. In Kashmir, the thousands, listen to this. Since so many crocus flowers are needed to yield even small quantities of dry saffron, the harvest can be a frenetic affair entailing 40 hours of intense labor. In Kashmir, the thousands of growers must work continuously in relays over the span of 1 or 2 weeks throughout both day and night. Once extracted, they have to be dried. The stigmas have to be dried quickly. Afterwards, the dried spice is preferably sealed in airtight glass containers. Thus, you will see the glass container. Experienced saffron buyers often have rules of thumb when deliberating on their purchases. They may look for threads exhibiting a vivid crimson coloring, slight moistness, elasticity. They reject threads displaying the telltale dull brick red coloring, indicative of old stock. I think I'm old stock. And broken off debris. Saffron is used in European, North African, and Asian cuisines. Its aroma is described by taste experts as resembling that of honey with woody, hay-like, and earthy notes. According to another such assessment, it tastes of hay, but only with bitter hints. Because it imparts a luminous yellow-orange hue, it is used worldwide in everything from cheeses, confectionaries, and liquors, to baked goods, curries, meat dishes, and soups. I'm going to move so she can check out her dish, so go ahead.
Yes, please, thank you.
Because of its high cost, saffron was often replaced by or diluted with safflower or turmeric, however you want to say it, turmeric in cuisine. Saffron is used in the confectionery and liquor industries. Moroccans use saffron in many salty or sweet and salty dishes, and due to its high price, it's mostly used while cooking for special occasions, as well as some Moroccan high-end recipes like the pastilla. Other Moroccan dishes cooked with saffron gives you all kinds of names. I'm not going to go into
Oh,
it.
come on.
Saffron played a significant role in the Greco-Roman pre-classical period from the 8th century BC to the 3rd century AD. That's a lot of years. Okay. A saffron harvest is shown in Knossos Palace frescoes of Minoan, Crete, which depict the flowers being picked by young girls and monkeys. Okay,
And the
I don't
monkeys,
understand
I didn't
that.
understand the monkeys.
They're picked by young girls and monkeys. I don't know if I'd want to be picking flowers with monkeys. One of these fresco sites is located in the Estes 3 building at Akrotiri on the Aegean island of Santorini.
You've been to Santorini, haven't
Yes,
you?
I
and
have.
I've been to Santorini twice.
The ancient Greeks knew it as Thera, and these frescoes likely dated from the
Ooh.
16th or 17th
Oh,
century
you know,
BC.
I've seen those frescoes. I went to that place that they talk about there. I took a tour group there.
Well, there you go.
Yes.
They portray a Minoan goddess supervising the plucking of flowers and the gleaning of stigmas for use in the manufacture of what possibly is a therapeutic drug. Okay, a fresco from the same site also depicts a woman using saffron to treat her bleeding foot. Well, that must not be a very pretty painting. Ancient Greek legends tell of brazen sailors embarking on long and perilous voyages to the remote land of Cilicia, where they traveled to procure what they believed were the world's most valuable saffron. Okay, now here we can hear about Cleopatra. Hi, Lori. Cleopatra used a quarter cup of saffron in her warm baths as she prized its coloring and cosmetic properties. So I wonder if that was the first spray tan. I wonder if she turned orange and, looked like she had been in the sun. She used it before encounters with men because she thought saffron was an aphrodisiac. So she, I guess she let them drink saffron. Egyptian healers used saffron as a treatment for all varieties of gastrointestinal ailments. Let's see. In Greco-Roman times, saffron was widely traded across the Mediterranean by the Phoenicians. Their customers ranged from the perfumers of Rosetta in Egypt to physicians in Gaza to townsfolk in Rhodes who wore pouches of saffron in order to mask the presence. I like the way they put this. In order to mask the presence of malodorous fellow citizens during outings to the theater. They didn't want to sit by someone who was stinky. Large dye works operating in Sidon and Tyre used saffron baths as a substitute. Their royal robes were triple dipped. Now this is funny. Triple dipped in deep purple dyes. But for the robes of royal pretenders and commoners, the last two dips were replaced with a saffron dip, which gave a less intense purple hue. If I was a pretend royal person,
Yours
why
will look more pink.
Well, I wouldn't have even gotten me a purple robe. I mean, if I'm going to get a purple robe that's going to look not purple to show that I'm just a commoner, I don't know why I would pay for that anyway. But, I digress. Okay. So the ancient Greeks and Romans prized saffron as a perfume or deodorizer and scattered it about their public spaces. So I don't think they ever realized how expensive it was going to be, or maybe they didn't care.
I don't think they cared. I think that's how they showed they were really wealthy.
Yes. Royal halls, courts, and amphitheaters alike, when Nero entered Rome, they'd spread saffron along the streets. Wealthy Romans partook of daily saffron baths. They used it as mascara. Okay. Next show we do, we're going to do our eyelashes in saffron. Wouldn't it be orange? Would we have orange eyelashes?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, they used it as mascara. They stirred saffron threads into their wines. They cast it aloft in their halls and streets as potpourri and offered it to their deities. Wow, saffron, you've had quite a history. Saffron-based pigments have been found in the prehistoric paints used to illustrate beasts in 50,000-year-old cave art found in modern-day Iraq, which was even then northwest of the Persian Empire. According to the Talmud, saffron was also among the spices used in the ketoret offered in the temple in Jerusalem. In ancient Persia, saffron was cultivated in the 10th century BC. There, Persian saffron threads have been found interwoven into ancient Persian royal carpets and funeral shrouds. Saffron was used by ancient Persian worshippers as a ritual offering to their deities and as a bright yellow dye, perfume, and medicine. Saffron threads would be scattered across beds and mixed into hot teas as a curative for bouts of melancholy. Indeed, Persian saffron threads used to spice foods and teas were widely suspected by foreigners of being a drugging agent and an aphrodisiac. So I best beware that you're not using this as a drugging agent.
Well, it'll be drug and teary when you get home.
That's right. These fears grew to forewarn travelers to abstain from eating saffron-laced Persian cuisine. In addition, Persian saffron was dissolved in water with sandalwood to use as a body wash after heavy work and perspiration under the Persian hot sun. Later, Persian saffron was heavily used by Alexander the Great and his troops during their Asian campaigns. They mixed saffron into teas, ate saffron rice. Alexander personally sprinkled it in his baths. It's in a lot of baths.
Yeah.
Because that's what Cyrus the Great did. I don't care if Cyrus the Great used it in his baths. Much like Cyrus, he believed it would heal his many wounds, and his faith in saffron grew with each treatment. He even recommended saffron baths for the ordinary men under him. Well, how sweet of him. The Greek soldiers, taken with saffron's perceived curative properties, continued the practice after they returned to Macedonia. So here we're getting finally into modern times. Hi, Kathy. Get over there. In modern times, saffron cultivation has spread to Afghanistan due to the efforts of the European Union and the United Kingdom. Together, they promote saffron cultivation among impoverished and cash-strapped Afghan farmers as an ideal alternative to lucrative and illicit opium production. So they're trying to get them to grow saffron instead of opium. Okay. Saffron demand skyrocketed when the Black Death of 1347 to 1350 struck Europe. It was coveted by plague victims for medicinal purposes, and yet many of the farmers capable of growing it had died off. Large quantities of non-European saffron were imported. The finest saffron threads came from Muslim lands, and they were unavailable to Europeans because of hostilities stoked by the Crusades. So there was, and here's something interesting, there was a 14-week-long saffron war, which was ignited when one 800-pound shipment of saffron was hijacked and stolen by nobles, and the load was en route to the town of Bethel. That's in Germany, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Would at today's markets be valued at more than $500,000. That shipment was eventually returned, but the wider 13th century trade was subject to mass privacy. Thieves, saffron thieves, who would have thought it? I guess when it's that expensive, you do that. Wary of such unpleasantness, Bethel planted its own crops, and several years of large and lucrative saffron harvests made Bethel extremely prosperous compared to other European towns. Citizens sought to protect their status by outlawing, there's Andrea, hi, by outlawing the transport of, they call it corms, C-O-R-M-S, which must have something to do with saffron. Guards were posted to prevent thieves from picking flowers or digging up corms. And then the pivot of the European saffron moved to Nuremberg. The Merchants of Venice, that's the name of a Shakespeare play. The Merchants of Venice continued their rule of the Mediterranean sea trade. Adulterated goods also made the rounds. Okay, so here's what you got to watch out for. If you don't think it's real saffron, it maybe they took just little threads of saffron, soaked them in honey, mixed them with marigold petals,
Yeah.
or kept them in damp cellars to add quick and cheap bulk. So they would become bigger, thus more expensive. Irritated Nuremberg authorities passed some kind of code to delouse the saffron trade. And adulterators of stealing the saffron and stuff were fined, imprisoned, and executed.
What?
Oh, in France, saffron production became very important in the 17th and 18th centuries, reaching a few tons. And then they talk about saffron in England. England emerged from the Middle Ages being a very heavy saffron grower, but rising puritanical sentiments and new conquests abroad endangered English saffron's use and cultivation. Puritanical partisans favored increasingly austere, unadorned, and unspiced foods.
Ooh.
There you
That's
go.
old English
Well,
people
maybe.
again.
Well, you know what? They still do unadorned and no foods that are very spicy. Okay. This trend was documented by Dean of Manchester. I don't know. Saffron made its way to the New World with thousands of Alsatian, German, and Swiss Anabaptists, Dunkards, not drunkards, Dunkards,
Yeah.
and others fled religious persecution in Europe. They settled mainly in eastern Pennsylvania and the Susquehanna River Valley. These settlers, who became known as the Pennsylvania Dutch, were by 1730 widely cultivating saffron, brought to America in a trunk. And so Pennsylvania Dutch saffron was soon being successfully marketed to Spanish colonists in the Caribbean, while healthy demand elsewhere ensured that its listed price on the Philadelphia Commodities Exchange was set equal to that of gold.
That was incredible.
Gold.
Yeah.
However, the War of 1812 destroyed many of the merchantmen that ferried American saffron abroad. Pennsylvanian saffron growers were afterwards left with surplus inventory, and trade with the Caribbean markets never recovered. Nevertheless, Pennsylvania Dutch growers developed many uses for the now abundant saffron in their own home cooking: cakes, noodles, chicken,
Yep.
or trout dishes. Saffron cultivation survived into modern times, principally in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. So if you go back east, go to Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, and you will be buying saffron that at one point was considered the best there was. Okay? So that's the story of saffron. I've got to be honest with you, I don't believe I've ever used it.
I hadn't until I bought my first saffron from Afghanistan, and then Chris and Lori brought me back the saffron, and so
I just like the little bottle.
I know
I think that's cute.
fun.
Okay.
I had to leave the little ribbon in place. That's why
I know, that's so
because it
cute.
was so cool.
Okay, so you're going to check out your dish. I'm going to go on back
Yeah,
around. She's
go
gonna
back around, and I'm going
look
to turn
this
you
over.
around because I think the dish is looking pretty darn good. Yeah, it is. It's doing just what it's supposed to do.
Okay.
All right, now I'll switch you around,
Okay, we're now
and then I'll get
sitting at the table.
Hi.
Okay. Woo! I'm telling you, I don't know how many of you have gotten to see the tape of our service on Sunday when we had Southwood meet with us, and
Hopefully they'll watch the new one I just
okay,
posted.
she just posted one because we now have our own YouTube channel.
And it took me 5 hours yesterday, I think,
Yeah.
to download the video here, but I took it home and I was able to do
Right.
it much faster.
You
on
need a
my
lot of internet
speed.
speed, and we don't have it here. We've upped it a little, but we're not able to up it anymore.
Nope.
But anyway, the one that she posted just yesterday, if you've gone on and seen the first one she posted, this one is so much clearer. And we're going to be using our YouTube channel more, and I do want to.
There's kind of what the dish
Okay,
looked.
here, can you see it? Here,
Yeah.
put it down, or I mean, tip
Yeah.
it over. Don't spill it on them.
Don't spill it on them.
Do they see it?
Let's see.
I don't think so.
Oh, yeah, yeah, there, they can see
Okay.
it now.
We can see it now. Okay.
And these are leftover ones, so.
It doesn't matter to me. I eat leftovers is good. Oh, Lori says Lancaster County is where Kyle lives.
That's right.
And Kathy Cord sometimes substitutes for saffron rice. She substitutes the turmeric, which they
Yeah.
said earlier.
And I had turmeric in this also, because it called for another spice that we don't have, but you could substitute turmeric for that.
Looky there. That looks so good. But anyway, you know, I have just enjoyed learning about all these foods, and Marty and I, you know, sometimes our discussions. What are you going to cook? Well, what am I going to talk about? Well, what do you think's going to be good to do, and all of this stuff. But we talk about it all the time, and we laugh as we talk because we're just always laughing. I think it keeps our sanity, or maybe it doesn't. I don't know.
It keeps our sanity. I didn't know we had any.
Well, I didn't either. But anyhow, yep, it's one of our favorite things though is to be with you all.
Oh,
Cindy
this is-
Keys, hi Cindy. She says it looks good. I'll tell you in just a minute.
All right.
Okay.
And you can put more juice on there if you want.
Oh, you guys, the plates look so pretty. They've got that golden. Hold on, where's my plate? Why? Oh, there it is. Okay, it's got that golden color. It's just so pretty. Gosh, I wonder how much if we made the saffron used in this into dollars. I wonder if I'm eating like a quarter every time I take a bite or something.
Okay, let's see if that puts it down a little bit.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just change it from the cooking side to the setting side.
Yes. All right. Okay. Oh, prayers. See, I don't want her to have to tell me. She always has to tell me.
Yeah, well,
But I'm.
that's my job.
Oh, smells so good. Okay, scoot yourself over a little bit. There you go. There you go. There she is. Okay, let's pray. Gracious and loving God, we thank you again for the bounty that we share during this time. Not only the food, but the joy that we are able to share with one another. I thank you for Marty's talent in her cooking and all the wonderful meals that we've had. We ask that you continue to pour out your blessings on us and watch over us in these times. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, first bite.
Okay.
I'm going in.
You're going in? Well, I'm gonna wear my pink.
Oh, you're
braids.
gonna wear your little
Yeah, my pink
Russian
braids.
hat?
Yeah, my pink braids.
Mm.
See, I like it.
That is very, very tasty.
Is it? Is it? It's not too spicy for you.
It's
is
not.
it?
No, it's not too spicy.
I know it's kind of just a real.
It's very mild, actually.
Yeah.
For all the spices, did you take some out, or did
No.
you? Okay.
Whoop. Whoop. Putting everything I'm supposed to have.
But I will have to say, saffron does taste a little hay. I mean, earthy. I mean, you know, I don't. When they were explaining what saffron tastes like, it is a very earthy taste.
Mm-hmm.
And what's interesting with the olives, it cooks the salt out of the olives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're not.
They're not like they
Salty.
are when you put them in raw.
Yeah, it changes totally different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Flavor.
What did you just do? You spray. I'm glad it was you.
I did.
I did not want to mess up the
I'll just-
tablecloth.
Well, laundry day is Thursday, so I'll wash
Oh
it.
my goodness. You just jumped right in there and
Smash that.
smashed that down.
Yeah, I did.
It's a very tasty dish. But I think what's interesting, and of course, you know, with different cultures, you have the different flavors. But both the dishes, the one that we did weeks ago,
Oh yeah.
was beef, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And
Beef with prunes.
beef with prunes. That's right. I can't remember the name of it. And now this is the chicken. and it's really excellent. But not anything I can compare to our cooking, to American cuisine. It's not at all like that. But anyway, I was telling you about checking out our posting that Marty just got done today of our August 30th service, which we combined with Southwood. Such a fun day, and it was beautiful weather, and the music is excellent.
You can hear the guitar player better on this one, I think.
Yeah, but I just want to thank Jeremy for coordinating that, and all of our musicians and all of their musicians. It's just fun to collaborate with a colleague and have our worship service together. Especially when the weather was so beautiful.
Oh my gosh, it was just. The only one that was bad was our first one got really hot, but
Yeah, the rest.
after that, it's been nice.
And that's another thing. And I know I sent out my letter, and I'm going to be honest with you. I know some of you don't read it, and I'll let that go. But starting this Sunday, and for the next 2 months, we will be having our services outdoors, and we're going to go back to our regular time, 10 o'clock. So those of you that haven't been coming because of the time of 9, we're now up to 10. You'll come in your cars, you park your cars, you stay in your cars, you hear it on the radio. Just bring your masks. When you put your windows down, we want to make sure you have your masks on. We have people that will bring their chairs, and they sit up on the hill, and they usually park back at Eastgate and then walk up and bring their chairs so they don't take up a parking space if they're not planning on sitting in their cars. But it has worked out, I think, just really neat.
And the volunteers that come and help, I mean, they've got their assignments, they just come in and they just start working. They don't wait for anybody to give them directions.
They have got it down.
Yeah.
They can do that setup in, I think, 15, 20 minutes at the outside.
Yep.
But we're also needing somebody that has a good ear for balance. Some of you that either sing in the choir or have played in the band. Who comes to mind would be Eddie Villanueva or
Dustin Kenyon,
Gary
Pearson.
But because I think during the year that during the months we're doing this, there may be some times when Jeremy won't be able to be part of it.
Well, he said it would be easier for him also to have somebody run the mixer instead of him trying to play and run the mixer and running back and forth. Right.
So either any of you that feel like you have a good ear that can pick up balance and
you
do
like
that.
electronics.
That would be great.
You notice we have new plates today?
I know. Why did you do that?
Because I had them at home.
Oh, okay. Well, I
had
thought
them.
it was because it was so juicy, and if we ate on our paper plates.
I decided that instead of just having paper plates to throw away every time,
I see.
we might as well have.
Yes, that's good. And you proceeded to, of course, just juice up the tablecloth.
Yes, I did. But yeah, we had bought these we were going back east to work on the apartment, and then we ended up selling the apartment before we ever left Kansas City, so.
Okay. We've got some more, of course, Randy's conversing, but Cynthia Kemp says, I'm so glad you linked me up to this, such fun and great information.
Cynthia goes to the UCC church in Iowa City.
Okay. Good, Cynthia. But Lori says, she asked about the crock pot. You said you didn't find a recipe that allowed you to use
No, it didn't.
Because on the beef one you did.
Yeah, I did. This one, everything I read when I read other recipes that had been translated into, English, into American cooking, they all said a heavy pot on the stove top or in the oven.
Okay.
So
But I
those
think
still have-
cooking in the oven, and you kept the lid on. You keep the lid on.
Oh, yeah,
Because it kind of moistens itself, doesn't it?
makes the flavors infused within.
Okay. Okay. Yummy. And you know that pot holds, or I guess you cooked all this in that pot.
Mm-hmm.
It holds a lot.
It does.
If these are leftovers.
Mm-hmm. These are leftovers. Because I put 4 pieces of chicken in today. I had 6 when I made it the other day. So.
Okay. So, anyway, I'm just having you all put this in your head. Sunday, 10 o'clock, outdoor service.
Oh, and it's Communion Sunday.
And it's Communion Sunday.
Oh, and I'm going to make you a special loaf of bread for communion.
What can I say? She's going to make a special loaf of bread for communion.
I didn't eat any of it last night, but it looked really, really good.
Okay.
And it was a dill bread.
That sounds good.
And you actually bake it in a casserole dish.
Well, that's cool.
And you make it with cottage cheese.
I have a hard time looking at you with your scarf on, and I don't have my scarf on.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, the communion is all very sanitized. We have you pick out. It's a little cup that has grape juice in it, and the wafers on top. It's not been opened. Very sanitary.
And a few have gotten confused that where the wafer was.
Yeah, they pulled off the top, not knowing that the little wafer was.
Yeah, because it looks like a
on
piece
top.
of plastic.
You're right. So those get passed out. If you want to bring your own bread and beverage, wine, grape juice, whatever, you're
You
welcome to do that. But we will be passing out the little cups and wafers that we've gotten now. Because things in church have just changed.
Yeah, and we've adjusted.
We have adjusted. So really, I am so thankful for all of you. I'm so proud of all of you. We have, as far as financially, your gifts and generosity has kept us going, and we're able to do these things to connect. There have been some expenses as we've tried to do the outdoor services and stuff, but that's all very necessary because, church as we know it is probably not going to be the same.
Never the same.
In many ways. But that's not a bad thing. I think the biggest thing right now, and I know for Bethel and I'm sure for other churches, is the fact that we don't have a choir.
Yeah.
And the singing factor. Of course, when you're outside, that's the wonderful thing about it.
Yeah, we can.
People can sing in their cars. They can sing up on the hill because we're so far apart. And unless when I'm speaking, I don't wear the mask. But the mask, you can sing with your mask on as you sit out there. So I find that to be a great.
And
benefit.
I thought it was interesting when you were on one Zoom call today and you told them about our outside services.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, well, how do you handle social distancing?
Yeah.
They do it. And they said that hadn't been their experience.
They said when they tried it, people got out of their cars. They didn't wear masks. I said, I have not had that problem at all.
No. Everyone, Bethel people have been very respectful of the directions given to them. And I really appreciate that.
I do too.
Because, we don't want to have Oscar the Ogre out there chasing him down,
Who's Oscar the Ogre?
Oh, I'll find one.
Okay. I thought maybe you were talking about you.
I think it might be me.
But anyway. And I hope for our visitors. Oh, I just wiped my mouth on your little
I
hat.
even gave you a napkin.
There.
You are just too weird.
I am. Okay. But I hope you all who are in other churches that are watching us, I hope you're having, that it's going well. What a blessing it has been for me to be here at Bethel and have the support we have.
And we've still been able to do our missions.
And we do our missions, and we've met our budget, and It's all just neat. I'm so
That's why doing all these little extra things we're doing,
we're able to do it.
we can do it, and you want to do it because you're appreciated.
Yes,
And-
you guys don't know how appreciated you are. And I know, my goodness, the time flies when we're doing this. Are we going to take one more? Are you going to take one more look at your dish? Do you think it's just cooking away? Do
It's
we
just
need to take a
cooking away.
picture of it? Okay.
Well, we'll when we get ready to
When
end
we
with
close
our final,
out.
and then I'll turn the camera around and I'll take the lid off as we sing our last song.
As we sing our last song.
Yes.
And maybe we'll just show the chicken and they can imagine the chicken singing the song.
Instead of the two
Instead
chickens,
of-
instead of the
the
two old
the
buzzers.
two
The two
kind of old people.
Kind of old buzzards.
That's right. That's right. Again, I want to leave with a reading that I found in my book that was sent to me by the United Church of Christ, Emerge. And this is, and I thought it was, it has humor, and yet there's that constant, we're just not in the same place that we were at one time. And all of that mystery of what's going on out there and when will things, I hear the term go back to normal. I don't think anything is supposed to go back. I think we go forward and find new ways to address things. And so this is called A Prayer When Feeling Apprehensive About Grocery Shopping. And it's by Mary Ludy. I'm going to buy groceries now, God. I'm wearing a mask. I have sanitizer. There'll be glass between me and the cashier. I'll be in and out in 20 minutes. I'll wash my hands the second I get home. Everything will be fine. Won't it? Breathe. Do you get this, dear God? That I'm nervous? Grocery shopping used to be a chore, not a risk. Tell me I'm not being ridiculous. Don't say, get over yourself. Don't say anything. Just take my hand. Is it safe to hold hands with you, God? Just come with me up and down the aisles. If you come, I'll be fine. You are the Lord of the bread aisle, the soup cans, and the frozen peas. You push my cart. You comfort me. Amen. So, know that God's pushing your cart when you go to the grocery store, walking beside you, and feel safe this week. And enjoy the dish. Tell us, those of you that try it, how it turned out. Marty's going to get ready to. We'll stand back there and you'll
Yep.
turn it around. We'll show the dish, okay?
Yep. Oh my goodness.
Oh, it's bubbling up.
Yeah.
Bubbling up crude. So that was the Beverly Hillbilly.
Yeah.
That's ready to go, I think.
Okay. Oh yeah, that'll work. Now let me crank us up a little
Crank it up.
Go ahead and get behind there so I
Okay.
can see how far
Okay.
up to put it.
Do you want me to lift the lid?
Well, you better put.
Ouch.
What do you think? I was using a pot holder.
Oh, yeah, it's getting done, you all.
Yeah,
It's getting done.
getting done.
Getting done.
Okay, let me get my
But it's spewing.
spewing.
Should we turn it now?
Yeah.
What do you think?
This
This
a
one?
minus, yeah.
Minus?
And then
Okay.
yeah,
All right.
do that.
Okay.
Whoops.
So we want our second version.
Yes. All right.
Here we go.
There we go.
Oh, Lori asked a question. Oh, here we go.
Okay, wait a minute.
Lori's question is about how long do you cook it?
It took me, it depends on the speed. It took me about 2.5 hours the
Right.
last time I fixed it. But, this one's cooking faster than the last time, so we'll
So
see.
this is going to be cooking a while after the show's over. So,
Mhm.
yeah. Okay, you ready?
Yep.
All right, here we go, you all.
Well, come on. cook and pray, oh, chat. Cook and pray, oh, chat. Cook, pray.